Welcome to the wrestling commentaries on the Squared Circle 101 channel.
And this is our recap of the WWE draft. So John, start us off.
Well, first of all, I'm John. This is Travis. Let's get into it. It seemed as though SmackDown was gaining the upper hand during the draft, did it not, Travis?
Yeah.
The first draft pick of the night was Cena to SmackDown. But Raw would bounce back with a decent pick themselves with Rey Mysterio. Then SmackDown got another gem.
Yeah.
And by gem, I mean Randy Orton. And then after that, Orton would win a match that would get SmackDown 2 draft picks. And those 2 draft picks happened to be Sin Cara and Mark Henry. Although I was sitting there saying, there goes Sheamus and Triple H. Although Sheamus would get drafted via supplemental draft.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that a little later. Then Raw won a match. They had already had Rey Mysterio, then won a 2 draft pick match where they got Big Show and Alberto Del Rio.
Yes, Big Show.
Correct. And at the end of the night, we had one final match, big 6-man tag, where it was the team of SmackDown's newly acquired John Cena, Mark Henry, and the already SmackDown faithful Christian versus Team Raw of The Miz, Alberto Del Rio, and who was their third guy? CM Punk. And the Raw team would win after a Mark Henry heel turn. We didn't see it coming either. But anyway.
For real.
After that, Cena was drafted back to Raw. So each show had 3 draft picks. 3 people had moved by the end of the night. To SmackDown, Orton, Henry, and Sin Cara. To Raw, Mysterio, Del Rio, and the Big Show. Who had the better draft out of those 3?
I think SmackDown, not counting Cena's stupid little crap.
I'm gonna have to say Raw because think about it. Raw got 3 of SmackDown's most over guys, while Sin Cara has all the potential in the world. He's not exactly there yet, and Mark Henry, that's just a joke. No offense to Big Mark. But let's talk about supplemental draft.
The very first one to go was
Daniel Bryan.
Well, that's his slave name.
Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, boy.
Daniel Bryan Danielson. And then for him, Raw got a little more swagger in their step, you know what I'm saying?
With Jack Swagger moving back to Raw.
A few other Raw picks that stood out were Kofi Kingston.
Well, I got the list.
Oh, well.
We had the annual move of the Great Khali and Ranjan Singh to SmackDown.
They always move, don't they?
Yeah.
Every draft.
Then we had Jimmy Uso go to SmackDown next.
By the way, the Great Khali's not going to get any better regardless of what show he's on. Let's just cut his losses and cut their losses and get rid of them.
He's a big star in India, so therefore they're not going to do that. It's their Indian product. But Jimmy Uso showed up and got drafted to SmackDown. It would later to be seen if his brother would follow. Next traded to Raw was Kelly, and it's pretty obvious with Karma coming in that she's going to be the first victim falling to her, so that one's pretty obvious why she moved to Raw.
I'd still like to see Michael Cole fall victim to Karma.
JTG is moving to Raw. Could we see him and R-Truth pairing?
Here's the crazy thing. Why does JTG still have a job?
I know. It's stupid. Anyway, Alicia Fox moved to SmackDown, which I thought she was already on SmackDown. But...
No, that's Layla.
See, nobody is so dumb. Like, you don't even see them anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, William Regal moves to SmackDown again.
Would that be a good thing for Mr. Regal, or...?
Well, he's moving into a commentator role, so it could be. That's where the young commentators go to learn the ropes.
Yeah.
Yoshitatsu moves to SmackDown. Could we see more Yoshi on TV, maybe?
Could happen. At least as a jobber.
And the next big pick was Drew McIntyre's moving to Raw. Now, John, you want to talk about Drew?
Could he be the dark horse?
I believe him and Daniel Bryan are the two best of this entire draft. The best that's going to probably get from being moved.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, I gotta tell you, he's a very talented man. I mean, how can you look at the guy, you know, with his theme music, his moveset, his entire look and everything, and not say, this guy is a future world champion?
Because he doesn't get heat.
Which is weird. I think it's just... I think that's more on part of the creative staff for not giving him anything to work with, but...
The next move was Natalya is moving back to SmackDown. Why was this? Who knows?
It is what it is. Beth Phoenix over to Raw is probably to lead to a karma feud.
Kurt Hawkins to Raw. This one won't matter. He'll be gone once the spring cleaning happens. Chris Masters to Raw. Nothing will happen with him. He is only 28 though.
Yeah, but he was once such a hot commodity when he first came in. He had the great look, great attitude.
Yeah.
The Master Lock Challenge really helped get him over. But they kind of dropped the ball with him. First he gets fired for steroids and they bring him back and he turns into the lovable face or something of that sort that dominates on superstars, I guess.
Yeah.
But back to the draft.
Next, Jey Uso would go on to join his brother on SmackDown.
Yep.
Kofi Kingston, as John mentioned, moves to Raw. This is good for Kofi.
Could be, could be.
Ted DiBiase going to SmackDown. This could do nothing worse for Teddy.
That's exactly what I said.
Tyson Kidd moving over to SmackDown with Natalya. We'll see if they start using him again.
Yeah, like with Ted DiBiase, he can't hurt anything.
Tamina is moving to SmackDown. Maybe since she's away from Santino now, maybe they will put her back with the Usos.
Maybe they'll build that team back up because they were actually a very good team.
Yeah. Tyler Rex to Raw. Again,
It
doesn't really matter.
It's whatever.
Yeah. Alex Riley to SmackDown. This was a big one.
This is a very interesting one.
I feel this is going to be a good move for Riley.
Help get him out of the Miz's coattails.
Because I think there is some money on Riley. You think he'll be a better heel or a better face?
Riley, I think they need to stick him as a heel for right now.
SmackDown is pretty heel heavy though.
They are pretty heel heavy, yeah.
Because remember Tyson Kidd even going over there as a heel.
But let's move on with the other draft picks.
Okay. Beth Phoenix to Raw.
As I mentioned earlier.
And the last one, the biggest one, Sheamus goes to SmackDown, the U.S. champion.
Now both mid-card champions are on SmackDown.
What's going to happen there?
Is it possible that Sheamus could lose the title to a Raw guy, or Barrett lose the title to a Raw guy, or will Del Rio take the world title over to Raw and we'll have 2 world titles on Raw and 2 mid-cards on SmackDown? Stay tuned to see. Just stay tuned to all your WWE programming to find out.
Guess how old Alex Riley is?
30.
Yeah. Today.
Good guess, huh?
See, look, Chris Masters is even younger than Alex Riley, who's just now
getting onto the big screen.
Yep.
But also, today, since we're done with the draft, we're pretty much done with the draft, right?
Yeah, that's everybody.
Well, I think we should just talk about
Chris Jericho?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Jericho got eliminated off of Dancing with the Stars.
So this means that the countdown to Jericho's return
is imminent.
Yeah, boy.
And also, Batista's fighting deal with Strikeforce is out of the water because of the UFC purchase, and they have no interest in using Batista, so you know what that means?
We're going to see a Batista return most likely?
It could happen. I won't even say most likely, I will say there's a chance. But
well, maybe he'll go to TNA and that will give them a big boost.
It couldn't hurt.
Couldn't hurt? My God, he was one of the biggest people in the WWE for 2 years.
I'm just saying that nothing can hurt TNA right now.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they decide to have Jimmy Snuka feud with Sting for the title or something.
That would be god awful.
That could get a few viewers though. I don't know. wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing that could happen already did. And that worst thing would be the debacle that took place at Victory Road.
Let's also talk about JR's hand.
JR's hand. Oh, did he break his hand?
Yeah, JR actually has broken his hand.
And Michael Cole has a broken lip.
Yeah. And it looks like JR's been cleared to go for the country whipping match.
Excellent. But now, before we get finished yet, I want to do a new thing. We'll see how it goes. I am wearing a Aeropostale tee.
No. Wrong channel, John.
Just kidding, y'all. Alright. You've seen how celebrities do that on the carpet. They'll, like, tell who designed what they're wearing.
Yeah.
Mine was designed by Aeropostale, as were my plaid shorts. Like you guys care.
Wrestling fans, John.
They'd be like, this is an interesting way to go. Well, Travis, do you have anything else you'd like to add? Or
Well, let's talk about Tough Enough, since
we might as well. Bret Hart was on the show this past week. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see all of it. Got to see the end. His speech at the end was very inspirational. It wasn't at the end of the episode, but the end of his time on the episode. Very inspirational. Hopefully it motivated the contestants. Rima Faki was eliminated. In fact, this week Stone Cold didn't even call for a bottom three. As he was saying, when I call your name, step up, he says Rima, then he says nobody else stand up. Rima, you're going home. So, there you have it. Rima Faki, Miss USA
it's gone.
for good.
So, who do you think's going to win it?
I've got my money on Lukey Boy.
See, I'm...
Or maybe Skid Marks will be the underdog and win it.
Could you imagine if he won it?
Bill DeMott would be pissed.
Bill DeMott will probably not be coming back for the second season of Tough Enough if that happens.
Yeah. And also be sure to watch next week because, well, Rey Mysterio will be on there, but nobody really gives a damn about that. But Booker T is going to be picking Skid Marks up and yelling at him for some reason. So if it were just Bill DeMott doing that, you'd be like,
Okay.
how's that any different from every other episode? But still, I kind of want to see what he does to get under the craw of Booker T. Sucker. You like that?
Yeah.
You gotta love it. I don't get it. What are you doing?
No.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess that's all. It's been a short news week, huh?
Pretty short. We'd also like to remind you all that we are sponsored by Devil John's Moonshine. If you want to get drunk, go to Devil John. That's not me. Devil John is a completely other different John. And we are also sponsored by...
Oh.
What model is that?
What?
What model is that?
I don't know. But thank you all for watching. And
Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.